Good
Good
morning,
morning.
everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Wednesday, and on Wednesday we talk about your money. So we're here with Coach Karen Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. We'll be talking about your money and your mind and the sneaky little things that keep us from being profitable. Now,
Girl,
I hear you. Now, I want to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. She's on the road today, and we just say, hey, we wish you well in all of your endeavors today. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. We're going to get this party rolling. Now, remember, we want us to give a shout out to those of you on the replay. Um, we want you to know that even if you have questions after the show, you can put them in the chat and we will review them and get back to you. So with that, I just want to say, welcome, Coach. How you doing this morning?
I am fabulous.
I feel you. I'm feeling
Yeah,
pretty wealthy myself.
exactly. Everybody, Coach Karen in the house, and we are continuing the conversation on money. What's up? Money, and mindset, and all the other things surrounding it. And as Terry said, thank you for hopping on with us live, and to the replay viewers, same goes to you. Always, we really appreciate that you come by, whether live or just to listen when it's convenient to you. And we hope that you take away something and use it. Not only listen, but take it away and use it, because it doesn't matter how little it is. If you keep using it consistently, you will see results. That's for sure. Just have to keep using it. So many times in life we want guarantees, but the real truth about guarantee is the only thing that you guarantee to get is that you put whatever you took into action, and you guarantee to get the results. You don't guarantee to get the results if you just took a course and you sit on it and you say, well, or why. You literally have to do it. If you don't do it, there's no results, so you didn't get anything, even if the person guarantees it. So keep that in mind, going forward, whether you take my program or somebody else's program or you coach with me, everything that the coach or the teacher has given you, it's because they know that how it works. They know it can help you, and now it's your turn to get in there and do it. All right. Without any further ado, today we're talking about self-care towards growth, mentally and financially.
Mm, that's a good one. That is a good one. Because
It's
there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't know about the rest of America. There's a lot of stuff going on in my mind that is concerning. Okay. Is that a diplomatic way to put it?
Yes, we're in September and the world has been turned upside down. I mean, everybody see it as 2020, but it's been happening slowly, but nobody was paying attention. And then we get wham, and we're like, oh, well, this happened in 2020. No, it didn't. It's been happening. You've been poked in different areas, whomever you are. So am I. And you've been hearing and you've been guided and you weren't paying attention, because that's what happens. And then we have to get this big stuff so that we can pay attention, because we're not listening to the whispers. And
Mm.
so some people's going to be hit very hard, and some people is going to be hit somewhere in between, and some people is going to barely be brushed by. And we never know, because nobody's jumping up telling you, but this happens in every situation. So yeah, so today we're going to talk a little bit about this stuff, because of course it's such a big topic. We could be here all day, but in
Mm.
this half an hour, we're going to briefly talk about three things. Sleep is an
Mm.
important part of taking care of oneself. We hear so much about self care, but a lack of sleep, of rest, is, I don't care how much facials you do or how much you do whatever you do, eat right, work, but without rest, that other thing can't happen. If you notice, if you're sick, they make you rest. If you got a flu, you hear rest a lot and drink a lot of water. If you were in the hospital, that the nurse will pass by and said, aren't you sleeping? Get some rest. I'll be back in about 2 hours. But she's saying, rest in the other two. I've been in the hospital where they're like, a nurse would pass by and watch somebody watching the TV, they wouldn't say anything, but they'd shake their head because in their head is, we give you the meds. If you rest, it's gonna actually work. Don't be doing other things. When you rest in everything, your mind, body, and soul. Number two is, how do you do a mental checkup? And I'll talk a little bit about how to do that, how to really spend some time figuring out your mental capacity and where you are, on what part of the scale you are at the moment. And how do you do a financial checkup? And the same thing goes for the financial checkup. Like, how do you do it? And we really need to be able to do that. If we are business owners, we need to do that. Matter of fact, this is always my thing to tell people. If you start doing financial and mental checkups when you're an employee, you're going to be a better business owner for your own self. But if you're just going to work and just chucking along so that your day could be finished and come back home, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not doing your employer any harm. You're doing so much harm on yourself, but you don't realize it until you're at your lowest. So,
Wow.
right, that's number one. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about mental and financial, self-care for growth, because you do grow when you look after these areas.
Mm.
All right. So number one was sleep is important part of taking care of oneself. And although 8 hours is recommended generally, now we're hearing 7 or 6, body will dictate how much hours they need. You don't have to argue with you. I personally can do 6 or 7. When the time is up, my body just wakes me up, regardless, even if I went late, because it knows that I had enough rest. Now, I might start feeling tired and I might think I want to go back to sleep. Can I tell you that can be a trick?
Mm.
You see that trick? Once you give into that trick over time, and then you start noticing you're falling behind. I'll give you an example. You know, I wake up early, but there's a time where I went hard to get up in the morning, and I was blaming it on everything. And what I recognized was, when I didn't get up when I'm supposed to get up, everything for the rest of the day fell behind. And in spite of that, I still wanted a nap because
Mm.
my mind kept reminding me that I didn't get enough rest, that I'm taking on what I shouldn't take on, and I'm worrying about stuff that I have no control over. And all of that was tiring me out, not to sleep. But I kept thinking if I slept some more, I'd feel better.
Mm-hmm.
When I took away the worry, when I took away those consistent mental thoughts that was draining me, I wasn't that tired anymore. And it
Ah.
was all at once, but little by little. I'm watching me and I'm like, okay, I can't fix that. I can't do that. So let's move it out. I can't do that. I can't do that. Let's move it out. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not as tired anymore. And when I consistently talk to me about these things, I notice that once I'm able to park them, then I'm not as tired anymore. But if I'm focused on the tiredness, then I just feel more tired. So
Mm.
what's the cure? We know, Terry. If something is bugging us, we got to take action. So if you know that you are truly tired, then what? Check your hours. What do I do in these set hours? And how much rest am I getting? And then give it to yourself. And then once you give that rest to yourself and you still hear the conversation in your head about you not getting enough rest, you can tell it, I have given my body enough rest. But here are
Okay.
the things I'm stressing about, and here's how I'm going to go about not stressing about them so that I can feel rested in my body and spirit.
Okay, so what you're saying is that when we are allegedly resting, we're really not resting because we're not at peace about something. So that we don't really ever get to the point where our body rests in the sleep, because there are different levels of sleep. We don't
Yes,
really
there's
get a
three
deep
levels, yeah.
enough sleep.
Yeah. If you're stressed, you don't get to that level where it's the deep sleep, which is the third realm. You guys can go look that up because
Mm-hmm.
that's like major, okay? I know it, I heard it, read about it, but I had to sit down because my daughter used to went a sleep clinic several times and just had to sit down with a doctor. This is all he studies about sleep. And he talks a lot about the third realm. And a lot of people don't get there. And they don't get there because of all the stress and worry.
Exactly. And so that is the realm at which your body regenerates cells,
Hmm.
replenishes, you know, the oxygen in your blood. A lot of things are going on at the third realm when you
A lot of repair is happening.
exactly at the cellular level.
Yes.
And so over a period of time, if you're neglecting that, then of course you're going to be depleted
Yes.
and you won't be able to concentrate.
Exactly. 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 Oh my God. So when we talk about self-care to the highest level, that's
Hmm.
what we're talking about. And I'm not saying you don't paint your nails, but painting your nails is minute compared to this part of the self-care that is so important. Because you know how many people are painting their nails and they're sitting there worried about so many things on their phone, doing all sorts of things. They're really not caring for themselves. They've got somebody painting their nails, but in the meantime, they're arguing with the kid, telling off the husband, spying on somebody, you name it. They're not doing no self-care. They're
Don't
just
you hate sitting next to that person when you're trying to get a pedicure? You went there to relax and they are on the phone just having a party, girl. Everybody in the salon can hear, and you're like, really? It's just like, I don't believe it. This is supposed to be my me time, and now I'm all into her stuff.
I was in a salon once where I heard Adrian, when she said that to the girl, she goes, "People came here for rest. Stop yappity, yappity, yapping."
Thank
And
God.
everybody was like,
Because it's true.
"That's so true." So you're not getting it done because you're busy and you're disturbing everybody else. Like, honestly, this is what they came for. You want to relax time. You hear the kind of music that plays in those salons. You know, I love when I used to go a lot for my massages and the kind of music it just brings everything down. The room is set up. You're in there. I love taking them together as a package, facial and a massage at the same time because you come from there, you go over there, you just take it as your day and you do not want to hear anybody doing those sort of things because you're not having that time for yourself. So this here is important. This is important. So important. Don't take this lightly. Very important. All right, moving along. Number two, how to do a mental checkup.
Okay.
This part, this part is so not every all three I'm talking about today is important, okay? But the sleep part is big, and that's why I'm stressing that because it allows you to be able to have a decent conversation for the mental part now. Now, if you're not rested, your mental state and that conversation is not good because
Hmm.
it's not the good stuff. That's why we dealt with that first. But when you are able to get past that, now you could look after this other, you could say mental, but you could look after it in a more clear fashion. You could really be honest with yourself. Nobody's hearing you, nobody's listening. It's just you and you. And you can really say, girl, how are you really doing? Are you totally emotionally charged? Are
Mm.
you getting upset for any friction of something? Are you angry? What are you angry for? Whom are you angry with? And if it's yourself, what got you to this place? And you want to write all this down. You could mentally sit and say it, but I promise you, if you write it out, it's so much better. Get scrap paper. You don't even have to keep it. But just get yourself there with pen and paper and just get it out. Ask the questions and answer them. Once you can answer right away, come back to them. Okay?
Mm.
But set aside some time and really do this exercise. And when you're finished and it's looking really bad, you know that you've gotten out a lot of the toxic part. You know a lot. Let me tell you, it's not a 1 day thing. Probably take a week, 3 weeks, keep writing, keep getting it out. And then in that, you will find systems for yourself. You
Mm.
will find ways to check in with only you know that is good for you. You also learn other things, but first you really want to find what works for you and tap in there. You know, that's how I came up with I'm only going to do 48 hours worrying about this specific thing. If it's really big, it's a week long. And then I cut that week down to 72 hours. But it's over time, I just do it. I just kept doing it. And I keep saying to myself, why am I frustrated? Why am I angry? Why is this disturbing my soul so much? And I rarely meditate on it. I pray on it. I rarely go to bat with pen and paper because I'm writing and I'm thinking. This is,
Mhm.
for me, it's not a computer exercise. It's a real hands-on exercise because it's dealing with all parts of me, and it's allowing me to work through the processes to get to understand me, so I can put me in this system. I can go and call upon it because it's been around with me so long. I don't have to go see where it was written. It's in here now. So I could be really upset right up here, and I could
Uh-huh.
start talking to me and bring me down like that because
Mm.
I know why. I know what's going on. I know what I won't tolerate from me anymore because I know what it does to me 2, 3 days later. Because I work by myself. I don't have colleagues that I'm going to work and complain to. you know.
Yeah.
So I had to find a way to make sure that I look after it. And also, I'm dealing with a lot of my household are not business people. They are worker bees. So they're understanding, even when they say I understand, don't understand it the way that you and I would talk about it. So
Yeah.
it's a different thing.
Mhm.
And I can't be upset with them for that because that's how they're taking it. But I have to look after me and my mental state. So I had to get those things looked after. And it took a while, but I'm glad I spent time doing it because it just made me a better person, made me feel better. So you want to really take care of that. That's so important. All right, so we're at number 3. We're moving to today. You want to add anything, Terry, before I get to number 3?
I want to say this, that your imagination will talk to you crazy. So being rested is very important, and having some affirmations already down inside of you so that you can talk back to the crazy talk.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
You said it. You said it, girl.
You need to have something down in there that allows you to talk back. Because if you don't have your affirmations clear, or post them up on the wall in case you forget,
Yes.
because it's easy to forget
Yes. Yes.
that success is
Yes.
guaranteed, and that
Yes.
someone is
Yes.
in this partnership with you.
Exactly.
And so I think that that's really important.
Mhm.
And if you are having trouble sleeping, I suggest that you do those affirmations or those positive, things that you wrote down about yourself, that
Yes.
you repeat them before you go to sleep,
Yes.
to remind yourself
Yes.
what's really going on.
Yes. Yes. A long time ago, it wasn't myself, but somebody I knew, mom, was suffering from insomnia, and they always talk about it. And I said, I wonder what is the problem, really. She's like, well, she's seen a lot of doctors. She's been to a psychologist. You don't understand how much people she's seen. Everybody
Mhm.
in church has prayed for her. She's fasted. But I tell you, this is her lot. This is her lot in life. This is. I'm like, no, it isn't. And everybody was like, yes, it is. And so finally, I met the lady, and we started talking from one thing to the next. And I said to her, so tell me, if you can't sleep at all, how are you functioning? She says, well, that's why I can't work, because she was a nurse. This is a woman who had a good profession, who ran a household and what have you. And we get
Mhm.
talking, and I said to her, I think it's more than what you're telling me, or more than what you've told them. She said, oh boy, I heard you're gonna drill me. I said, no, it's not a matter of drilling, but if you truly want to sleep and have a life, you're gonna have to change some things. I said, and this is going to get personal. I said, I heard you got a divorce. I said, you probably didn't forgive him. You're probably still angry at him. He's moved
Mhm.
on with his life. You're holding on to all these things what had happened there. And they have played and become your LP. And
Mhm.
because you live in that space, your daughter is soon to be an adult and you don't even know her. Like you just disappeared. Anyway,
Mhm.
over time, from chatting with her, we talked about one thing to the next. One day she said to me, actually, we didn't talk. She left me a message. Karen, I slept last night. And let me just let you know, I was so angry with you for like 2 days. And I'm like, this is the same anger that I use for everything that holds me awake.
Mm.
It was a light bulb. Now, I didn't diagnose her, but I could tell that she was upset and angry. But I
It
can
comes
tell not
across.
because she looked angry, because, oh my God, what a pretty woman, and just divine to look at, and just pleasant surface. But I talked to her for like 2 seconds and I was like, she is pissed.
It's coming out. Yeah, it'll come out. Guys, you gotta let it go. Let it go. That's part of the mental checkup. Is letting it go. Let it go. Uh,
Let it go. Let it go. I won't go into any more detail because it's her personal business, but you gotta really go and deep and see what is who you're holding on to
that's keeping
mentally
you.
while they have left you physically.
Yes. So Maureen's in here. Maureen says,
Hi,
uh,
Marie.
"Angry can eat you up." Yeah, anger can do that. It robs you of your sleep, and then it steals your mental health. You
Yes.
know, because you now they just have descriptions for it. Now they say you're nervous or you're anxious or you're this and that. They got a list of things to
Yes.
choose from.
Yes.
No, you need some rest, people. Get somewhere to sit down.
Like I told this girl the other day, she's asking about people's geniuses, and I said, I realize I really help people with emotions behind the money. That's
Mhm.
really what I do. I help people with the emotions behind the money because it's all these different emotions that's happening that cause a lot of the blockage and the
Mhm.
non-abundantness and all the things that is wanting that God just want to give you. That you're just standing there being so emotionally charged, like electricity running through you that it can't get past. It gets there, and it just bumps away. It's there, and it just bumps it away. No, it's not happening.
Girl, that's a workshop right there. Are you emotional about your money?
Just bumps away.
Yep, yep. So now,
Oh my God. And that's leading us right into number 3.
okay.
How do you do a financial checkup? How
Mm.
do you check in with you financially? Not the pretend kind. Huh?
I'm gonna put this on because this is so funny.
Hmm.
Maureen,
Okay.
she says, "Let the stuff go because it'll become stuff in your body." Yeah,
Yes,
you've been blocked.
yes.
Right? Maureen is our health and wellness person, and she's saying, you gotta let stuff flow through. My grandmother used to say, "What goes in must come out." You know, let
Must.
it let it
Yes.
out.
Yes.
Okay,
You gotta get it out.
so now we get to our financial checkup. How do we do that?
Your financial checkup. Here's the hard part I'm going to tell some people that never want to hear this. Stop saying I'm blessed and highly favored if you know at the moment, right there, right now, there's no money nowhere. Because that will keep you in that lie space so that you don't go forth and do what you're supposed to do. Because you're thinking that somebody's going to come in and give it to you. And that's not going to happen. You're going to have to do the work so that you can open the door for it to come in. And I don't mean the physical work in the business, I mean the work we just spoke about to get you to this place. So if you have no money, don't stop walk around saying that. You need to check up. Is my budget telling me that I have more expenses than the money I make? Check on it. Do
Okay.
I need to make more money? Check on it. How am
Mm.
I going to do it? Figure it out. Ask somebody if you're not sure. Once you figure it out, get to doing it. Period.
So you have to say and do.
Thank you.
Because I'm a big believer in you shall have what you say. So that even though it hasn't manifested yet, I believe that you should say that. You don't have to say it that way, but wealth and riches are in my house according to the word. Okay.
Yes.
So we're not saying don't negate faith talk.
Nope.
We're saying you gotta do the work, people.
Thank you. Thank you. I am a faith talker. I sent it forth. I plan for what I cannot see, but I don't still sit still waiting and hoping. I do what I am supposed to do, what I'm guided to do, even when I don't like it.
And he said he'll bless everything you set your hand to.
Tag? Whoa, whoa.
Set your hand to it, people. It's not. It's like if I walked out there on my patio and just said, "Woo, woo, these flowers are just going to grow. No water, no sunshine." It's probably not going to happen.
You gotta water it. You gotta water it.
And I am a witness because I'm the only person I think on the planet who can kill bamboo. I did, we had a drought here for so long, and I wasn't going out on my patio. 2 years of no water, and the limited water from rain, it just wasn't enough. So people, he'll bless everything you set your hand to.
But you're gonna have to go do some things.
You're gonna have to do something about it.
You're gonna have to go do some things. You're gonna have to get up and actually do some things. I'm doing my office step by step.
Yep.
How I'm seeing it. Faith without application is
It's receiving for, what's that? Does that say insanity or instability?
I'm not sure.
But yeah, faith without works is dead. It's not going to happen.
It's that. And I was using I didn't want to do a wallpaper, but I wanted this wallpaper look. And so I came up with a pattern. I loved it. I wanted to do it. I was hoping it looked like what's in my head. And I started, and I'm like, the paint's going to work. The paint is going to be enough. And I know in my mind, the paint is not enough. You understand? Mm-hmm. So I'm like squeezing and I'm going. I'm like, God's like, go buy paint. It's not enough. So I got to get myself and go buy my paint. Of course, I get to the store. I wrote it up in a little, words a couple of days ago. I got to the store, and then, of course, I'm rushing around to get back to continue, and I couldn't find the paint. The Pacific paint I want, I couldn't find. I'm looking all around. I walked through the aisle 2 or 3 times, can't find the paint. And I said to myself, Karen, you're rushing around. The paint is here. You're going to get the paint. Stop it. And, I made another trip, couldn't find the paint. And I left that aisle, and I'm walking through another aisle, and I saw an associate. And this is how simple we also get distracted. And I don't know what it was with me, but I was about to follow her, and I figured maybe to ask her, but I simply hear go straight. And I was like, arguing the point. I'm like, why would I go straight? There's home decor. That's not what I want. I'm looking for paint. And I heard again, just go straight. And what do you know? The paint that I wanted was not in the place where paints were. It was where I was told to go straight. I got there, and I think
it was on the
people were dying, wondering what's wrong with this lady, because I just was laughing like ridiculous. I was like, this is why you needed to go straight.
Well, I think Maureen straightened out her comment. Yeah, because we have to learn to listen.
That was a listening moment. That was a lesson there. You were sent to get the paint. Go get the paint and stop doing what you're not supposed to be doing. Just get the paint. Get yourself back.
That's how we overspend too, doing what we're not supposed to be doing.
Right? Go get the paint, and I needed some shelves. The shelf was, here was the paint. I make a beeline, come around. There was the shelf. And I was like, whoa, okay, Karen, get to the cashier, get out now. You got the 2 things you came for. Get out the store.
There you go. So Maureen says faith without application is a recipe for insanity. Okay, gotcha.
It really is.
I know what you mean, Maureen. I do that too. I type, and sometimes it auto corrects me.
Oh, man.
I didn't type that. Okay. I didn't say that. Right. So let's recap.
Alrighty. So today our topic was self-care towards growth mentally and financially. And we talk about sleep because that's important. So you can clear your mental capacity. We talk about sleep and really get into that third realm where you're rested and you're not worried sleeping, you're not jumping out of sleep. And that takes you preparing your day and being active in not allowing others to come in and dictate. A friend of mine, I told her the other day, I said, she's talking about depression. I said, girl, I couldn't get depression. I get outward depression, which means people try to take their crap and drop it on me because they think I'm too happy and I'm too prosperous and I'm looking good. So they want to drop their crap on me. I'm not allowing it. And I stopped them. But that would be where it's coming from, right? So you want to get those things off you so you can have a good night's sleep. And then we want to do mental checkup. We talk about mental checkup, making sure. So that sleep helps you to clarify so that you can do these mental checkup, so that you can be in a place where you can operate and behave in this place that you really was designed to be in. All crap that happens, not of you, not for you. It's not for you being. Leave it alone. Leave people alone. Stop wanting to find out, get into.
Leave folks alone. Okay.
All right.
And then I'm gonna
And
put
we
Brenna's
talk,
comment up when
yeah.
we finish. Go ahead.
And then we talk about, doing a financial checkup. And as
Mm-hmm.
I said, nothing against you saying you're blessed and highly favored, but if you know that you need to have money in your bank account for your bills to come through and pay it on time, if you know that you're not having enough money for your expenses for each month, each week, whatever that may be, you need to take a look and rectify. It happened
Mm.
already. You don't have it. Don't murmur about it. Just say, how can I rectify this? Do I need $500 more every month? How am I going to do it? And sit down and break it down, every single tiny bit of it, so that you can get to where you can get that extra $500. And then once that's in place and things are where you need it to be, then now you look forward to making 1,000 and 2,000, whatever that number is for you. But you want to get that part straightened out, because if you don't get that straightened out, if you don't check up and see that happening, this is like auditing for your business, you do it for your personal, right? And if you don't take time and check in on that, all of a sudden, all these other thoughts come upon you. And everything that you do not desire, people deposit on you. And I mean this in offering you jobs, telling you about opportunities that has nothing and no alignment in what you do. And then you're so unfocused that you really and truly don't make that 500 anymore, because you're too much all over the place.
Wow. Okay, so let me put these comments up before I start making comments. Wait a minute. Okay. Brenna says,
Hi,
I
Brandon.
always say letting go allows for growth and progress. I learned that from absent parents. There's always a lesson in unpleasant situations.
For sure.
Yes, there's a blessing on the other side of through also. Okay, great information, ladies. Thank you, Maureen. Yeah, I love the way you simplified that. The fact that our 3 million things are tied around these impactful things that we don't pay attention to. And when you talked about if you need $500, you need to sit down and figure it out. And people, if $500 is too big for you, then figure out how to make $5
Exactly.
and do that 10 times.
Yes.
Okay. 10 more times until you get to $500. Okay. Because I know sometimes, figures can look different to different people.
True.
When you don't have a lot coming in, and the PG&E bill is the utility bill, because you live in Canada, the PG&E bill is is $300. You're freaked out.
You are freaked out. I remember as a child when I thought about a $20, I used to feel like I was a millionaire. Anytime I got $20, I was so rich.
Well, it went a lot further too. But
I was so rich. I remember my cousin used to always laugh. She's like, Karen, what is the big deal with $20? I'm like, I just got $20. I was a kid. I used to feel so excited, right? And that $20 to somebody right now is also big. This is the thing I have to sit back and relax with myself about. Right now, for somebody, $20
is significant.
Mm-hmm. Because $20, if you know to spend it right and eat right. Matter of fact, I've sat with people who we plan out meals for $20 or $40, but the 21st, and then look how the 20 can come. Because if you don't know how to manage that $20, let's say you had to eat and you didn't know how, that's $20 that's spent in a day. But somebody who knows how, they can eat 3 meals for that $20.
Exactly. And if you shop at the right places.
Exactly. So I hear you, Terry. Yeah, numbers, it's scary, it's frightening to a lot of people. And I was telling a friend, I said, one of the things I used to wish for, but I'm making sure I work on it. The only thing I wish for, I'm like, okay, I'm going to work on that for people. If they would tell kids that who don't like math in school, why math is important, I tell you, a lot of people would not be leaving school saying, I hate math.
Yeah.
Because they learn that it's going to help you in your life. It's going to work your life.
How relevant it is. You have to make everything relevant. And I think right now our children are so sophisticated that they operate like adult learners, and adult learners need to know why. Why am I doing this? Why am I taking art appreciation and I want to be a chemistry major? What is that?
You got to tell them how to relate it. And this is when we have the good teachers and the not so good teachers, because some teachers do not know how things relate to the real world. Let's face it, I've had teachers, and I have some really fantastic teachers and professors, but there's some, their head is in the air, and you ask them, How is this going to be relatable to what I am? And they're like, well, did you read a textbook or didn't I tell you? No, you didn't, because you don't know. That's
Well,
what you
not only that, I need to know art appreciation. So if I'm at a network event and someone starts talking about, Monet, I actually know what the heck they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Or Van Gogh, or you know what I'm saying?
whatever, you want to know that you can. So kids need to hear that and see that. When you see a kid is excited about art, is because maybe some cartoon or they're following, Marvel or something. So that's what got them interested. So you want to talk about them. I know my eldest hate reading, and he had a wonderful teacher, and he says he loves to sketch.
Uh-huh.
Let him read books that has picture. I know you want him to go higher, and he's gonna learn from those words. I know what you want and what I want. He
Well,
goes, no,
think about it.
that's
The
all he read. And
the plot.
yeah, this kid was reading. And all the time I was fighting, wasn't reading. The minute he started reading Goosebumps and other books and anything with, because he was a cartoon artist.
Graphic novels, yeah.
He was in heaven. We stopped arguing. Anything that he has to do, they would just work around what he loves. And all of a sudden his marks changed.
Yes.
Because he was working in what he loves.
And that's called teaching across the curriculum. So, letting the kid read comic books, I don't know why that ever got to be a thing, but anyway, it just works. As long as the child is reading, that means they're interested in the subject, just like you. So I agree. I think that we need to do what we love and take care of our mental, financial health, and get some sleep.
I love how you put that together, darling.
So, Coach, what do you have coming up now?
So I've got some memberships happening, and I do have a free one to get people started. So there's a link there you guys can join in. It's starting.
It was there. I've got to go back and get it now.
Really? Yeah, I put the link there. You can sign up, and I think it's Sunday. I'm gonna start drip feeding it out. And that's the first part, well, when you read it, you'll see all what's happening there. But
so that's where you can sign up
mm-hmm.
for the course.
Yeah, so we have different membership levels, but I really wanted to have a free level, because I feel like, everybody, not everybody, again, we're talking about dollars here, not everybody is able to spend $1 at the moment on a specific thing, but they might still need it. So I want them to come here, and this is like getting yourself ready to pay for probably the next one up. When we go and we see, I don't know, whether it's email marketing or whatever, we always have the slots where you can choose which one works for you. And that's how I'm setting up my membership. I haven't seen it done, and I decided that that's what came to me, and I want to do it. I want to do it that way so that people can come in at whichever level that is suited for them and be able to learn. So they're not limited. That level will provide exactly what that level means. So this is like the basic level, and then I have another one up, and then there's a couple more. And as I release them, I'll share it here in the Biz Chicks. But
sounds like a plan, guys. Get on the plan. Come on in early and learn more about how to handle your money for business. Thank you so much, Coach, and giving us that opportunity to come in at all different tiers is a win.
Yes, yes. I the more I talk to people, the more I recognize I am training two people physically here with me for another part of my business. And when you're in it and you know a lot already, you don't realize how much people are starting at the very beginning, and they really, really, really want to learn, but they're just there. And you don't want to use a lot of big terms on them. You don't want to have them where they don't know what to do and they feel like giving up. And so I don't want that to happen. So I want people to come in, evaluate themselves, and then see where they need to go. Because sometimes, even if you're in a business and you feel stuck, you need to start back at the beginning to get you there. You're going to move faster because you've been through some things, but you need to probably get back into the groundwork and see, what is it about me that I'm not looking after to get me to this other place?
Sounds like a plan. Wow.
All right.
Okay. Guys, we want to encourage you to, if you're just tuning in, to watch the replay. It was a great day today. We talked about those 3 things that can impact your money. All significant and all doable. And here at Biz Chicks, we don't like convoluted crap. We like to talk to you in English and give you doable things in increments that you can implement. So with that, we just want to say that tomorrow is Thursday. We're going to be here with Robin Shimizu and friends talking happy, healthy habits. And on Friday, we're going to be talking tech and English. So don't forget to go to the front of your own line, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.